We're starting alive, we're starting alive. Starting alive, we're starting alive. Can anyone hear me yet? Tommy is saying he thinks America loves sis. I don't know about that. I'm not. Hey guys, I can't see me. Do you guys see me? Okay, yay. I can't see me. Well, this is weird. I need chat. Oh, wait, I think I had the wrong chat. There we are. Okay, I figured it out. Hey! What a day! What a day! Christy is the third nominee on the block. Yeah. That was my dance. Yay, you guys! This is fantastic. Okay, where do we begin? Let's start with the field trip. So, the votes came in today, and apparently it was told to them that we, America, have been voting since last whatever, gave them the exact date because it was the day of the whole blow up. And so they're sort of talking about the correlation. Oh no, it says my resolution's bad. Does it look bad? Oh. Okay. I don't know. Okay, so they said America's been voting for this many days, and here's what's going to happen. You're going to do a comp, and you're going to get either safety, a punishment, or on the block. So they immediately started talking about, like, oh no, America hates us. They voted for us. Like, they figured it out right away that this wasn't a, like, we're voting for our favorites. So that was in their head. They played this comp, something about fruit and something about chickens or eggs or something. I couldn't tell what the comp was yet. But Jackson won. He is safe. Sis got second, so she will have some sort of punishment. And Christy came in last, and she is on the block. It was Jackson, Sis, and Christy. So it was very clear that we were voting for one side of the house. If anything else, like, I don't know all of the things they're going to figure out from these votes, but it's obvious that that's from one side of the house. And even Tommy said, he was like, I think it would have been me instead of Sis had I not won HOH, which very well could have been. Like, I'm actually surprised Sis got votes. I really was, I thought Sis doesn't get a lot of TV time. So I thought if it was a mix of, TV viewers are voting as well as those of us who are crazies online, I didn't know if anyone would give her any votes, but because Tommy was ineligible and Jack was evicted, so he was ineligible because I bet those got more votes than she did, it bumped down to Sis. So this throws a wrench in Tommy's plan just a little bit. It's making him rethink things a little bit, but not a lot. So let's back up to last night when Tommy won. And he pretty quickly was saying, like, I'm not going to talk to anyone about my plan. I know what I'm going to do. I think he was trying to make it look like he was distancing himself from Christy. This whole week, people have sort of been on to Christy, and I don't think he wanted it to look like he and Christy were a duo for this HOH. Amy, good job manifesting this. Good job. He and Christy know they're a duo. They don't have to make it public. They trust each other. So he can play this off like, I'm not really talking to anyone, but here's my plan. He really wants to target Kat. He says Kat is good with everybody. He listed that she is like a duo with Jess. He listed that she is like a trio with Holly and Jackson. And he said, I think Kat and Cliff and Nicole and Nick might even have an alliance together. So he says she is good with everyone, which is dangerous, and she's in the middle of everything, and so she is the target and thinks that she has to go. The only upside, well, I say this for all of us Nicole fans out there. Yay, hi everybody who's joining. Thank you so much for joining. Just catching up on these feeds since the HOH and Tommy's plans and ideas. He has been listening to Nick a lot, and he really wants to sort of reel Nick back in, and he wants to lessen the other side so that Nick has nowhere else to go. You know, if he gets rid of these people that Nick has been talking to, then Nick has no other choice but to be loyal to Tommy. So he doesn't want to put Nicole up because he knows that Nick and Nicole are sort of buddies. So he doesn't want to like blatantly tick Nick off. So he sort of asked Nick's permission to put Cliff up next to Kat and explained that Kat was his target and kind of just basically asked Nick, like, I need your vote this week. Like, I need you to respect my HOH and give me your vote no matter who I want, because it might be someone you're close to kind of conversation, you know? So Nick, of course, being the Nick that he is like, yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, of course. I love you so much. Like, I'm loyal to you, man. I don't say anything. I don't take any of your information back to anybody else. He's like, I got a good working relationship with them, but I'm not in alliance with them. Dude, I want to be back with you. You know how Nick is. Like, blah, 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 blah. But he also said Cliff was coming after you. He said if Cliff won, Cliff would put up Tommy and Christy, but Tommy is the target because he's more scared of you, Tommy. And that's true. Cliff did say that, and way to go, Nick. Way to go to just throw that information out there. So even though Tommy's target is Kat, he's going to put Cliff up next to her. That's the plan. But Tommy is a bit thrown. He knows having Christy on the block is super, super dangerous. He doesn't want Christy on the block for his HOH. It's crazy. It's so exciting. Look, a lot can happen though, guys. We really got to talk through this because Christy's on the block, and probably if she stays on the block as the third nominee, they probably can vote to evict her. Yes, AB is pointing out Nick's vote isn't needed. If Holly and Jackson, Jessica and Nicole vote to evict Christy, she's a goner. That's all they need are those 4 votes. I have a feeling that Tommy and Christy are going to try to do some major work on Jackson and Holly. They feel like they could probably get them back in and get them not to vote to evict Christy. But what? Why? Why would Jackson do that? That would be really stupid on Jackson's part. That would be really, really dumb. So my point is I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because this is very exciting that Christy is on the block and she knows that we voted to get her in that position, in this pickle as it is. She said it's really bothering her. She's having a hard time dealing with the fact that America might hate her. And of course, everyone in the house is like, no, that's not what it means. No, they were probably just voting because this was like the day of the blow up. And, you know, you guys were in the blow up. So they just were like, maybe all of them can just fight it out in a competition. No. And, like, first off, Jess is like, no, it probably means, and then she, like, rambled and didn't make sense, and I was like, Jess, this would not make me feel better. You're not helping at all. But then Christy chimes in, and Cliff chimed in, and they're all like, no. So they know that we voted for people that we weren't happy with. But Jackson has safety. That's dangerous for Christy. It's dangerous for Tommy. But I do think that Tommy, Tommy's been playing the best game this whole season. And he was doing some really great damage control with Jackson and Holly last week, like trying to get them back in, kind of trying to be like, it's not me and Christy. Like, I don't have to be with her. He obviously does have to be with her, but he can say it to them that I'm not really with Christy. Like, we can let her go if we have to. Like, I just want to work with you guys, Jackson and Holly. So he's doing a pretty darn good job of getting back in with everybody. Cliff did some sort of damage control of like, you got to understand my vote to evict Jack. Like, I just had to do it. And Tommy's like, I get it. All respect. Like, Tommy is just good with everyone. His argument against Kat is so true, but about Tommy. Tommy is good with everybody. They're starting to see how dangerous that is, but they still love him. And if he makes it down to the final two, he gets everyone's votes for sure. So Tommy's doing a great job. And even though he's in this sort of awkward position with his best buddy on the block for his HOH, and he doesn't get to vote or save her unless somebody wins veto, they can take her down. But he's still doing a really good job. He's making it clear that Kat is the target. And honestly, she is bad for his game. I know we all love Kat because she's entertaining, but she's messy. She is a messy rat floater. Like, she kind of does it good, but she's also messy. So he's right. She's not good for his game. So if he can get her out, that is a smart move on his part. But once Kat goes up, and probably Cliff, they have to work hard on getting the votes to go towards Christy and to keep her up on the block. Like, they have to protect that veto. This veto is going to be so importante. Importante veto. Veto competition. I don't know what that was. That's just me being weird. All right, you guys. This was very, very exciting. I just can't believe that we came together and made the votes so clear. You know what I mean? Like, clearly against one side of the house. Because if it had been like Cliff got votes, Christy got votes, and, Sis got votes or something like that, it's like, I don't know, that's sort of a mix. But the fact that it is all remnants of the 6 shooters, that says something. That says something to the people in the house. I'm looking at my notes to see if I missed anything. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing what Sis's punishment might be. It would be really cool if she got like a real punishment, like you can't vote or something like that. That would be amazing. But it'll probably just be a costume, right? All right. Kat is wrecking Nicole's game. She needs to go, Michelle. You're right. Kat's wrecking a lot of people's games because she's so messy. Steffi, no. Noms has not happened yet. They have been doing the field trip for like 3 to 4 hours, which was the comp that they played. So they got that news, they played a comp, and the feeds just came back. So it does sound like noms will happen later tonight. Feeds will go back down for the noms. But it'll be Kat and Cliff unless something crazy happens. But yeah, Kat is really good at being paranoid, and she's really good at throwing other people under the bus when she gets paranoid. And last night when Tommy won HOH, she immediately got paranoid. She heard from Nicole, who heard from Nick, who just, Nick just rambles information. He didn't have accurate information, but he was talking about like Kat being a possible target. Like Kat, Cliff, Nicole's names were the ones that Nick is throwing around. So immediately Kat runs to Tommy and is like, I heard that Nick is saying that I'm probably going to be a target. Like, why, first off, are you running to Tommy? Like, he just won HOH. Like, that's just her paranoia. But then she's throwing other people's names like Nicole just out there and getting them in trouble. And that is super, super dangerous. So for that reason, that's another reason that Kat could maybe go. Could maybe go. Again, love her, but she's messy. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me today. We had so much exciting stuff to talk about. I haven't seen any field trip pics, Dina. I haven't seen any pics yet, and they barely talked about the comp on the feeds because Christy was so depressed. She's the one that likes to tell us about the comps, but she was so upset that she was voted. So she didn't tell us all of those details. But apparently the other house guests who weren't playing got to sit in the living room and watch the comp. So that was interesting because they were like, we were cheering you on. It was so exciting and crazy. Henrik, I like that Jess is not a target. I know. She's not a target at all. Tommy was like, she kept me safe. I'll keep her safe. That was it. Doesn't matter that she took out one of his buds. Yeah, so just another recap that Jackson, Sis, and Christy were chosen for the field trip. Jackson won safety, Sis has a punishment, and Christy is on the block! Like, I don't want it to seem like I'm, like, giggling because she's miserable, but I really do love when Big Brother messes with people. Like, that's what makes this fun, and this is messing with them. I love it. We got to vote. I love when we get to vote, and it doesn't seem to have completely ruined things yet. Week's not over, but I love it when it doesn't ruin things. So yeah, Tommy hasn't done noms yet, but it will be Kat and Cliff probably. His target is Kat. He is trying to campaign to people that they respect who he wants to go and vote his way. He has 100% reeled Nick back in. Like, Nick is not going to be able to play both sides anymore. I'm sure he'll try, but he is obviously with Tommy. So that's that. I think Kat will get paranoid because she's going to be on the block, but they will probably... Wait, what about season 16? I'm missing some of this, but it sounds exciting. Yeah, Nick B, Holly, and Jackson will be critical votes because you would think that they're going to want to vote Christy out. Again, if Christy stays on the block, like, someone could win veto and take her down. If Tommy wins veto, he's going to take her down. If Nick were to play veto and win, he's going to take Christy down. I don't know, maybe even Sis might take her down if she plays veto and wins. So she might not be on the block at the end of the week. But if she is, I would have to imagine Holly and Jackson should vote her out. That is better for their game. It is not safe for Jackson to keep Christy in no matter what she says. I'm sure she's going to be like, no, I love you. It was all blah, blah, blah. But don't buy it. Claire is saying, do you think Christy will get enough votes to leave? It's really, really up in the air because I really do think that Tommy and Christy and Sis are going to work on Jackson and Holly and try to make this whole, like, we got to get the band back together. Like, we can do this. It was horrible that we split up, but, like, we got to protect it and work together. But it is, like, so far from that in Jackson's mind, right? It has to be. Good question, Henrik. Will the bottom feeders lose the public support once they are the majority? It does happen. We love to support the underdogs, and then when they become the majority, maybe not. But you know what? This last week, they were the majority. They had the power, and they did not turn into ugly, disgusting people. So there is a difference. Literally, as soon as Tommy won HOH, Sis and Christy said, see, this is what they get. That side of the house needs to remember what it's like to be at the bottom, and they need to go back over there. And, like, started talking smack immediately. And they had, like, just a few hours of being in power. And, like, that's just, ugh. that's just gross. So even if the underdogs get the majority, they might still be like decent human beings, which would be nice. Oh, Griffin was saying, I was wondering if you thought Sis is turning into Victoria from season 16. I actually thought she started as Victoria from season 16. I thought she was falling into that, but then she got so feisty and like got mad that she didn't win HOH and Holly did. I thought, oh, she might have a little too much spunk to actually be Victoria. So I don't know. It's a close one. It's a close one. Why did Holly say she loves Jackson in her goodbye video to Jack? Well, I think Holly does love Jackson. So maybe she's just telling us how she feels. Nick says, how has Nick got the large target off his back? I know. Well, Nick laid low enough that he waited till the six fell apart. Well, he didn't wait. He was just like riding the wave. And they realize they need him. Like, it's true. Tommy needs his vote. Tommy needs his loyalty. And Tommy's doing the right thing by being like, dude, come on. We love you. I love you. Over here. Be loyal to me. If Christy manages to get Jackson and Holly back, we got to give her some credit. Oh, yeah. I mean, Christy and Tommy have been playing the best game. I keep calling them Casey and Tyler. I wouldn't put it past them to be able to get Jackson and Holly back on their side. But I kind of feel like Christy has crossed a line, but she's a good schmoozer, so it might, Tommy actually might want Christy to go. Amy, I thought if she's on the block and he had nothing to do with it, that he might be like, maybe I just ride this out and see where it goes. But he immediately grabbed Nick and was like, we can't have her on the block. We cannot have her on the block on my HOH. So I don't think that that's true. I think he loves Christy more than we even realize. Yeah, I know. Tommy has been very good about like Sis talking against Christy, Jackson talking against Christy. Like, he's very much like, I'm not with her, you guys. I get it. I totally fine. We don't have to work with her. But I think in private, he really does want to keep working with her. He knows that she's got this extra layer of loyalty to him, and I think he, wants to protect that. This is Tommy's best chance to separate. I know, I agree. And maybe over the next couple days, and especially if she doesn't win veto, maybe they will take advantage of that. Maybe Tommy, it'll sort of sink in, and, maybe Sis. I don't put a lot of, credit in Sis's brain. She's not really thinking about this game that well. But if Sis can be like, hey, maybe it's not so bad she's on the block. Like, maybe it'll kind of sink into Tommy's head and he'll take advantage of this. I just don't know. Hi, Sebastian from Chile. There's no noms yet. They're going to do that tonight, apparently. We just had the field trip so far. So what we know is Christy will be nominated on the block as the third one. Linda misses Sam. Sam was fun, but he was playing not a great game. It's best for Tommy's game to evict Christy because she is dragging him down. I think so. He should become a free agent. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if he lost Christy, he'd still be just fine. I mean, Sis is his Victoria. Sis is the perfect goat to take to Final Two. Ain't nobody voting for her, but she will be loyal and feisty with him. So that's great. And then if Nick is sort of like his shield, he's fine. He does not need Christy. Not at all. Do you think it was a good move for Kat and Holly to imply they know each other in the goodbye messages? I don't think they did, though. I think that they were being coy about it, but I think that Jack was like, they're just messing with me. I don't think that they really... but I also don't think there's a buyback. I think that Julie's interview was so gloriously shady that... I don't think anyone's coming back into the house. I don't think so. And they didn't announce that next week will be a double eviction. So the further they push this double eviction back, means that we'll probably only have one, and there won't be, you know, any sort of battle back. So yeah, I don't think there will be. Yeah, I don't think you should tell. Dina's talking about influencing jury. Like, I don't think that they would want to reveal that they know each other to anyone in jury. That would not be smart. Amy says, what do you think of Jess? I think that Jess didn't play the game for like 40 something days, and then she had the most iconic HOH of BB21. Ain't nobody's HOH been that good. She's got the best one. So I think, and she's not HOH, and no one's bringing up her name. She is still good. So good. Yeah, no battle backs. I mean, if this is how Christy goes out, it's going to blow my mind. It's amazing. So amazing. Does anyone know if Tommy's HOH reveal had pictures of Ant? Yes, there were. It was very interesting. I mean, the bummer is there were no pictures with Christy in them because we know those exist. But lots of family photos in Tommy's HOH room reveal. And he was like, that's my mom, that's my aunt, that's my blah, 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 blah. And Christy literally was like this. She could not like step away from the pictures. Everybody else moves over to like the table where the snacks are, and he's reading the letter and all of that. They're hovering over with Tommy, and Christy's still just over like with the pictures, just like looking and looking and looking. She could not stop looking at the family photos. It was very, very interesting. And she said at one point, she was like, your family's hot. I'm like, yeah, we know. We know. Evett says, what do you think of Nicole? I adore Nicole. My quirky queen has been my favorite since pre-interviews, but she hasn't really gotten to do much, so I can't say that she's playing a great game. I think she's playing a good game because she has saved herself and like gone from being like in everyone's mouth to like, don't worry about me, I'm not doing anything. So I'm really hoping that she's going to win an HOH one of these days or some vetoes and like get into the game so that I can like root for her to win. But you know, right now there's really no reason for her to win. I just enjoy her. She's such a lovely person, it seems like. Are they going to have have-nots? It doesn't look like it. Looks like have-nots don't work with Jackson in the house, so they're just going to be like, never mind, we don't need have-nots. So that's not happening. Hi. Thank you. Thank you guys again for showing up and talking to me, because I just get so excited that I like have to talk about this. You know what I mean? Does Nicole need to start winning? Yes, she doesn't have any winner equity, as the RHAP people call it. There's, as much as we all enjoy her, there's no reason to vote for her. So, yeah. I would love a Nicole HOH as well. Did someone suggest that Christy should date Tommy's aunt? No, I think we're talking about the fact that she did date Tommy's aunt for like, what, 7 years, was it? That's their connection. They know each other very, very well. Serena, did I pronounce that correctly? What do you think is the most likely final two? I mean, I've been saying that it's probably Tommy and Christy, but now that we've had these sort of Christy exposed parties, it's probably going to be, bye Nick, go walk that dog. It's probably going to be Tommy and Sis, I think is going to be our final two. I think that Tommy is grooming Sis to be his little puppet, and he will drag her to the end, and no one will vote for her, and Tommy will win. That's how this is going to happen. Yes, Sebastian, Tommy is planning on putting up Cliff and Kat. Kat is his target, and Nicole would be his renom if one of them came down and he had to do that. That is the plan. It'll probably happen tonight. And then Christy is our third nominee. Third nominee, let's do a dance, a song, and dance. Christy's on the block. Henrik wants to know, will it be a bitter jury this year? Well, the majority of the jury is probably going to be 6 shooters, so it depends on who that final 2 is. If it's outsiders, yeah, they're going to be nothing but bitter. They don't understand how anyone else was playing the game but them. They will be just so confused. But if it's like a Tommy and Sis, they're going to be like, yeah, Tommy's the man. Give it to him. Linda says, did they leave the house for the field trip? They did not. They did not leave the house. Not a real field trip. They even joked. They were like, we heard we were going on a field trip, and they got so excited they were going to go somewhere. And then it was like, nope. You get a comp, and one of y'all's going on the block. Yeah, the whole have-nots thing is weird, especially since I think it's probably because Jackson did it so poorly and they didn't know how to handle it that they were just like, no, we won't do have-nots. But they could do those, like, food comps again. Like, they could do something to, like, integrate it, do something, but whatever. It has nothing to do with the show anymore. So it is what it is. I took my bottle out of the fridge because Jack is gone, but I can put it back any time, and so can anyone else because there is plenty of room. Oh, Liam, that's a very good question. Will Tommy name the replacement if Christy gets pulled off? No. So only if the 2 noms that he names, if one of them gets pulled off, he'll put up a replacement. But Christy being a 3rd nominee, if she comes down, then we don't have 3 noms. It just is the 2. So that's best case scenario for them in that side is that Christy, Tommy, Nick, or Sis, one of them pulls Christy off. They're safe. They don't have to worry about, people putting any votes over there, and it's just Tommy's nominees. So that could happen. That's why we're very excited that Christy's on the block, but doesn't mean she is going home. Yes, so Christy did lose the field trip. She is on the block, and Jackson won it, so he is safe. And Sis came in 2nd, so she has some sort of punishment. I don't know. Dina's bringing up the whole Jackson's mom thing. That was a troll Twitter account. That was not real. I don't know. Jackson's mom very well might have a lawyer and talking to CBS, but she is not tweeting about it. She's doing it, privately and professionally, probably, if she is. But that is not her Twitter, and that was not her talking. So I do just want to make that clear that we know that specific Twitter account was not real. Amy's saying, honestly, even though she's not the biggest Tommy fan, she wouldn't be mad if he won. Yeah, Tommy's been playing the best game, so if he won, we gotta give it to you. Jackson is a beast, I guess. I mean, he hasn't won that many competitions, but I do have faith that he can win competitions. But I also think Christy's really good at comps, and I thought for sure if she were chosen on this field trip that she'd win it. Like, the fact that she came in 3rd, I'm kind of surprised, but I don't know what the comp was, so it's hard to say. Yeah, Joshy, if Sis has a punishment like not playing a veto or not voting, that's a punishment. Like, that is a punishment. I would love to see that. Like, that affects the game, but it'll probably be a costume, right? Yeah. Evet's asking, how do you know that if Christy is taken off, no 3rd nominee? Because that's how they usually do it. Whenever there is a 3rd nom that comes in with some sort of twist or extra thing, that person doesn't get replaced because we put that person there as America, not the HOH. So the HOH wouldn't choose a replacement because that wasn't their pick in the first place. That's just how it's usually done. Other than Jackson, Sarah, who do you not want to win? Hey, I never said I don't want Jackson to win, but I don't think he's going to win. He's not that great of a player. He's a very good archetype. He's that alpha male who'll die on the sword. He wants to, look like he's suffering to serve someone else, that kind of thing, which are very entertaining in the show, but they don't usually win. But who do I not want to win? I would have been very upset if Jack had won the season, and thank goodness that's not an option anymore. That's the only person that I really just do not like. You know what I mean? I hope Kat wins the veto. I would love for Kat to win the veto, but honestly, if one of the noms wins the veto and comes down, that means Nicole is going up. That worries me. Maybe we can still get Christy out and doesn't matter who's on the block. But yeah, if Kat wins the veto or if Cliff wins the veto, that the next person up is Nicole. And so if we lose any of those people, we just lose numbers is really what it comes down to, those of us who are watching, because you just don't want one group to have all the power. And we're now sort of going back and forth, which is exciting. So I just don't want the other side to lose too many numbers. You know what I mean? Jeremy, I'm starting to like Jackson as a game player and a person. I mean, he hasn't, been out there and offensive lately, which is nice because he's sort of just sitting back, which is going to help him in the game for sure. Is there a player in the past that reminds you of Christy? For me, it's Devin. Oh, Christy. Oh my gosh. For some reason, I was thinking Nicole, and I was like, Nicole and Devin? No way. Yeah, Christy definitely has Devin vibes, but I really think she's Vanessa. Vanessa and Christy are very similar to me. I think they both play loud. They play emotional. They're very good at manipulating without other people knowing they're being manipulated. I think the two of them are very similar. Henrik says, if Sis wins the game, I'm done. I mean, she's good at comps, though, so she could start winning a bunch, and then I think you might change your tune. I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting a text. Let's see. Jeremy says, who would get evicted if Cliff and Kat get put up? Well, Tommy's target is Kat, and so he's working on getting people to vote that way. And he's already worked on Nick. He's already got Sis, obviously. He will start to work on Jackson and Holly soon, I'm sure. And that's really what will be interesting to see is, do Jackson and Holly align with Tommy and vote Kat out? That's going to be hard for them. First off, Holly's not going to want to vote Kat out. And especially if Christy's still on the block, that's just not going to happen. But they probably could be convinced to vote out Cliff or Nicole because they don't care about Cliff or Nicole. Survivor fan says, anyone having flashbacks to season 15? Well, I certainly was in the beginning of the season when there were people of color in the house, but we don't have that many anymore, so I don't see it anymore. Should Tommy be going after Holly now that he can't get Jackson? Why go after? Well, he does kind of have Jackson. Tommy has been really working hard at Holly and Jackson this week of like, let's be friends again, let's work together again. And I think Jackson is fine. He just doesn't want to work with Christy. So, and Holly is definitely the same way of like, we love you. We just don't want to work with Christy. So I think it would not be smart for him to go after Holly right now. I think he needs Holly and Jackson to sort of come back on his side first. Holly might not actually. Jackson doesn't like Kat. Jackson doesn't like Kat like as a person, but Kat's been in his corner and Kat kept him safe this past week, so I don't know, it's kind of a tricky one. And also Holly would be so mad at him if he didn't vote to keep Kat. So I don't know, that one's a little iffy. I'm not sure. Amy says she's rooting for Jackson. Well, he won safety today, so he's good to go. And they all think there's a double eviction next week, just like they thought there was a double eviction yesterday. So he's like, great, I'll be available to play in the HOH for the double eviction. It's not going to be next week because it wasn't announced to us. So, Liam, we were just talking about a battle back. Don't think there's going to be a battle back because there hasn't been a double eviction yet. So don't think that's going to be working out. AB says Sis could be a dark horse like Casey. I don't see a lot of similarities except that she's right there in the middle of it. So she could be. But if it's her against Tommy, people are going to vote for Tommy. She hasn't done enough. And Tommy hasn't ticked anybody off. I think that's the thing. Like Tyler ticked people off. So let's see. Holly could go much further in the game if Jackson left. Yeah, I mean, Holly's in a fine place right now. She is protected by Jackson, basically. But if anybody wants to go after Jackson, they would put her up as the other person because they're a duo, and you never know. But Holly, I don't think anybody wants to get Holly out because, like, she's not doing too much on her HOH. She did exactly what her alliance wanted her to do. So she's not really ticking anybody off, you know? Yeah, Jackson's very good at comps. He just won safety, so he could win out the rest of the season, I guess. And if the jury is mostly 6-shooters and grateful, he's fine. Linda says Tyler should have won. That will be a debate forever, won't it? Just like Josh and Paul. Yeah, the battle back thing, I don't think also because of Julie's talk with Jack, Maggie, I think you have a good point there. She said, too much information. There's no way they're letting him back in the house. That would just not make any sense. Oh my gosh, okay guys! Yay! That was a fun day. We had a fun week with Jack eviction party, and you know, Tommy wins HOH. We were like, where is this going to take us? Oh, but the field trip is a fun little twist. So I'm excited to see how this week goes. Like we've already talked about, this veto is really important. Who wins it? And, oh, where is Nick's standings? Nick is being pulled back in with Tommy. Tommy needs him right now, so he's being pulled back in, and it's just like he's got blinders on. When the cool kids want to talk to Nick, he is all about it. He wants so badly to be Tommy's best friend, so he is right there. He pledged his loyalty to Tommy today, and I think that hopefully Cliff and Nicole figure that out and don't give him any more information. Because he will say it. He will say it all. Paul should have won both times. That is another debate we will have. We will always have that. I would love an all-star season, but mostly, more than that, I would love a season of redemption. I would love people like pre-jurors, first outs. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Oh, thank you, AB. Thank you for reminding me. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe because we do this and we have fun together, right? Thank you guys so much for joining me and chatting with me. And David and I will be back on Monday night after Sunday's episode, and we will talk about all the veto spoilers and what happened over the weekend. And we'll talk about all of that on Monday, okay? Thank you guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.